LMAO, you get hired then God of War is delayed first time ever. Too busy dreaming about getting gang raped by all your simp Twitch subs to actually work LMAO. Hope it happens and someone streams it and you get fired because they all know you're a useless whore, and the game comes out 2021 and PS5 only.
Sony confirmed that the sequel to 2018's God of War has been pushed to a 2022 release window and will come to both PS4 and PS5 when it's released.
No, that's not fair. That's not fair. There was time now. Oh, it's not fair.
Dear fucking Christ. The only thing that could have made this tweet 10 times more lethal to PlayStation fanboys is if it said coming to both PS4, PS5, and PC. Could you imagine all the hospitals that would be overrun with PlayStation fanboys collapsing from a goddamn stroke or some shit? They'd put Corona to goddamn shame. For the love of God, Sony, please don't port any more games to the PC, and please don't have any more bad news to give. Don't you remember the PlayStation fanboy that was suffering from insomnia due to all the bad PlayStation news and all the PC ports?
I keep waking up in the middle of the night, all drenched in sweat.
Or better yet, think of J-Tech. Poor boy will die of a heart attack if you have any more bad news to give him. Don't you care, Sony? Don't you have some compassion? He's your #1 fan.
If he dies, he dies.
You gotta love it. Nothing but a bunch of L's to hand to the PlayStation fanboys. They're running out of room for the amount of L's we're giving them, just as much as we are running out of room to contain all of their salt. We have to balance it out eventually. There's no way we're going to allow PlayStation fanboys to cause the earth to collapse under its own weight from all this goddamn salt. I mean, me personally, I don't care. I checked off a while ago. I've accepted my fate. If the world ends tomorrow, so be it. As long as I have a fat blunt to smoke and a good bottle of whiskey, then it should be no problem to enjoy watching the world burn.
Is this you talking or the liquor? Randy.
I am the liquor.
I don't know what all the fuss is about. Personally, I think it's very pro-consumer of Sony to have this cross-gen support for their big IPs like Horizon Zero Dawn and God of War. After all, in a time where Sony themselves have confirmed that there may be console shortages for the next 2 years or so, porting these games that you invested a lot of money into onto the platform which has the higher user base makes perfect sense. Not enough people have PlayStation 5s. I mean, I'm looking at it logically, because that's what Microsoft's game plan was, and everybody accepted it. Oh wait, now I'm starting to remember why the PlayStation fanboys are upset. Well, the real reason they are upset, it's because they were the ones that would run along with all the headlines. What was that headline they ran with the most? What was it? Oh, we believe in generations. The all-powerful PlayStation 5 will not be held back by the PlayStation 4, unlike the Xbox Series X, which will be held back by the Xbox One. Every single point they had against the Xbox can now be turned and used on them. And it's amazing because many of them even decided to log off Twitter to avoid the lashings they were about to receive.
Coward.
But don't worry, since all of you obviously know that studying PlayStation fanboys in their natural habitat is my job, I was able to preserve some excellent tweets.
Ugh, stop with this cross-gen bullshit. It's okay at launch, but come on, make the game the greatest it can be.
Wah! You like that? Huh? You like that? Wah! Ah! Ah!
It's like everybody is expecting photorealism right out the gate. I also don't know what he's bitching or whining about because both Returnal and Ratchet & Clank are native PlayStation 5 games. And you know what? They really don't look all that next gen, let's be honest. So there's no reason to be upset. You're already seeing what the PS5 can do this early on. And Horizon Zero Forbidden West is also going to be coming out on the PS4. More news that triggered the PlayStation fanboys and journalists, who for some reason are upset about this too. And I would honestly say that arguably looks better than both Ratchet & Clank and Returnal. So don't worry, I'm pretty sure God of War, whatever they're going to title it, is going to look just fine. And when I say fine, I mean not look next gen, but very good. Because for fuck's sake, we haven't even had these consoles for a year yet. People are expecting to see the full potential right now. We're barely playing around with Unreal Engine 5.
Not even a PS5 exclusive.
Ponies really are the most toxic in the community. Not only do they not want PC gamers to play their games, they don't even want their own PlayStation brethren to play their games. Sorry PS4 guys, they don't want to share games with you either apparently. I guess we have to categorize these as PlayStation 5 fanboys now. PS4 guys, I'm rooting for you now. Get more exclusives. Cause I feel bad for you guys. I know you want a PS5, but shit is so whack right now. So the more ports you guys can get, and the saltier they get, the better.
Sony treats old-gen players good, but at the expense of next-gen players.
Got this little anal cream. Yeah. That you can just, you know, put on your asshole. Just put on your asshole if it hurts a little bit.
So let me get this straight. You can play the games at 60 FPS and some at 120 FPS. You can play them at higher resolutions with better graphics, faster loading, and an overall better experience, and you feel as if that's at your expense? You get the better version of the game guaranteed. If anything, the PlayStation 4 version will be a horrendous experience by comparison. That's not exactly good treatment. That's mercy. Because if you haven't noticed, Sony does not have enough PlayStation 5 owners to buy up these exclusives that they paid a lot of money to make. And that's where you have to give Microsoft credit, even though you PlayStation fanboys spent the entire year laughing at them for being transparent about maintaining cross-gen for a few years. At least the owners of that console were expecting it to be the case because they were told so. PlayStation guys, on the other hand, they ate up whatever Sony said just to keep them pleased shortly for the bad news that would drop on them, and this has been going on consistently for weeks. So now the ponies who were expecting quote-unquote generations are not getting games like God of War or Horizon Forbidden West as PlayStation 5 exclusives. And you know what? Maybe they have every right to be mad at Sony about that. Nintendo did the same thing with Twilight Princess on the Wii. You feel cheated out of it. But you know what? Nobody gives a shit because at the end of the day, you're still going to support it. You're still gonna stay with the PlayStation 5, and you're gonna wait your ass for those games. Because you talk so much shit in the console wars, and now here you're sitting in the exact same predicament that you were laughing at the Xbox fanboys for being in. I find it quite amusing. I don't give a shit about seeing next gen shit. I have too much to play as it is. I can sit comfortably on this 3080 for the next, I don't know what, entire console generation. God of War Ragnarok delayed from 2021 to 2022. I fully support this. Take all the time you need. There's absolutely no excuse for anyone to give the devs shit for this, especially given the myriad of rushed and broken game releases in the past year alone.
I don't think anyone is bothered by the delay, just the fact that it's also on PS4.
Why would people be bothered by it? Making PS5 only while PS5s are still so difficult to get would shrink their potential customer base, especially when they just said the PS4 is going to remain a major part of Sony's plans through 2023.
Yeah, that usually means third party and smaller support, as it usually does. This is a 2022 game as well, not like there will only be 500 consoles sold by then.
I'm afraid I got some bad news!
Nothing brings me more joy than giving a PlayStation fanboy bad news. Don't get me wrong, giving this news to a standard PlayStation fan does slightly hurt me, but I'm still not sympathetic. But towards the PlayStation fanboys, oh, it's pleasure, utter pleasure. Because Sony themselves said they're expecting shortages all the way up to next year as well. And so far, based on the current PlayStation 5 exclusive titles like Returnal and Ratchet & Clank, it seems as if the scope of games aren't all that drastically different. You're not going to notice a goddamn thing until we're there, so shut your fucking mouth. Game development isn't at the point where you want it to be. It takes time. Most PlayStation 5 exclusive content that's going to be released for the next 2 to 3 years isn't exactly going to make you come in your pants. You should get a bitch for that. But Lord knows you guys have enough trouble with that as it is. Like Kratos, Cory Barlog has no patience for trolls. Okay, we gotta talk about this because the ponies have gone too far. Listen, I don't care if you guys are joking at this point, like, come on. God of War director Cory Barlog condemned the harassment that a Sony Santa Monica developer has received. This follows up the news that God of War Ragnarok has been delayed to 2022 and will launch on PS4 as well as PS5, with Barlog stating that these decisions were made at the top level. Alana Pierce, who joined Santa Monica as a writer last year, shared messages sent to her by a troll, who somehow convinced themselves that the Ragnarok delay was one individual's fault.
Oh my.
For fuck's sake, ponies, what is wrong with you? Are you that stupid? What is it with ponies constantly doing this? They never go up to the head. They always complain at the developers, who are probably already stressed the fuck out by the higher-ups making them do all the shit they don't want to do. Yet they're the people the ponies go and attack and try to blame for shit like this. They're so stupid they think a single developer of many at this studio has the power to make these decisions that they're so angry about. Yes, Sony lied to you, okay? That's who ultimately got you pissed off. Why are you attacking developers of the game? Why did you believe a single word of Sony to begin with? Did you actually think those motherfuckers were going to kill off the PS4 and make everything only for the PS5? Are you that gullible? Because if you are, congratulations. You're the perfect consumer for Sony to continue milking off of because you do their dirty work for them. You praise them for everything they do, and then you take out all your frustrations on their employees, just like they do. Brilliant. And in case you were wondering what that PlayStation fanboy sent Alana Pierce, well, here's the messages.
LMAO, you get hired then God of War is delayed first time ever. Too busy dreaming about getting gang raped by all your simp Twitch subs to actually work. LMAO. Hope it happens and someone streams it and you get fired because they all know you're a useless whore, and the game comes out 2021 and PS5 only.
You know, I wish I could say it was funny, but it's just sad at this point. This is pathetic. This isn't trolling, this is a PlayStation fanboy who has taken his love for PlayStation too far. Man clearly doesn't know what it's like to feel the touch of a woman, let alone talk to one. You know, the first thing you want to tell a woman when you approach her is that you wish for her to be fucking raped. All of this over a stupid fucking video game. What is wrong with you? Threatening to shoot up Sony headquarters, wishing rape upon their employees, trying to get Jim Ryan fired. If you're going to be this upset about PlayStation games, don't even bother to log on to Twitter, don't get on social media, lock yourself in your room, and take your goddamn autism pills. What the fuck were you thinking? Sony's ultra woke employees are gonna look at that and they're gonna think to themselves, let's port more games to PC. So good job. Anyways, the toxic backlash from PlayStation fanboys online pissed off Cory Barlog to the point that he put up this poll on Twitter asking people, do you love games or the thing you play games on? With the overwhelming majority choosing games. Badgers in second place and hardware in third. You gotta love it. The perfect type of tweet to troll the PlayStation fanboys who spend all day on Twitter being absolutely toxic about something that will never affect them and they will never think about again later on in their lives. Although if they do end up still thinking about this till the end of their lives, then they should have been locked up in a mental facility instead.
So this is a way to twist Ragnarok being on PS4 and then the inevitable PC version.
You can't keep getting away with it! You can't keep getting away with it!
Yeah, well, maybe if you guys quit bitching so much and quit giving them reasons to troll you back, then maybe it won't happen. But instead, here you guys are pushing them to maybe doing it just to piss you off at this point. Shit, at that point, they'd be releasing God of War on 3 platforms: PC, PS4, and PS5. Not only will they get triple the amount of salt, but they'll also get triple the amount of money. My god, as each week passes by, I'm overwhelmed with the amount of salt I have to cover. Can I just do something else, guys? Do I have to sit here and cover PlayStation Fanboys? I know that's what you love the most, but look at me, I'm a goddamn mess. It's taken its toll on Daddy Frit. Do you see a single sign of life in my eyes? No, it's all gone. So for the sake of my own health, you PlayStation fanboys would do good with just taking the L's and figuring out how you're going to store them. You guys were wrong about a lot of things. Your narratives are falling apart. Your troll attempts are getting weak. But you guys have sat there and continued to support Sony after multiple lies, and you will continue to do it. Because at the end of the day, it's not really that big of a deal. You just make it a big deal because you have no control over your emotions. Fuck it, I'm not even having fun anymore. And so I will end the video. Like, comment, share, subscribe if you so choose to. You know how it is. I don't give a fuck. I'll see you bitches next video.
Fritango sucks ass.